Hello, my name is Paula Sturm, and I am the owner of Radically Nourished. I'm a registered dietitian and a functional medical nutritionist. And I want to talk to you today about some foods that support gut health. Gut health comes up a lot in my practice. And so I work with a lot of patients that have issues with gut health. And I want to just give you some gut friendly foods to help support your gut. Now, there is a lot that goes into supporting somebody's gut health, and it really depends on what somebody has going on, whether or not some of these foods might work for you. But it could give you some clues if some of these foods I mentioned actually don't work for you. So if I'm mentioning things like apples or bananas or really high fiber foods or asparagus or onions or garlic, which all can be good for your microbiome, but if they make you bloated, that could give us a sign or a clue that you might have some microbial imbalances. Maybe you have something called SIBO or small intestinal bacteria overgrowth. So there can be some clues that some of these foods could lead us to understand what's happening in your gut. But overall, if you really have a relatively healthy gut, but you just want to make sure that you're doing the best you can to support your microbiome, adding those really high fiber foods like asparagus, onions, and garlic, things like chia seeds, asparagus, apples, bananas that are on the greener side are all going to be really helpful in providing resistant starches. And those are prebiotics that can be really excellent for building your microbiome, as are beans and legumes like lentils and chickpeas. Those are excellent sources of fiber that can really be supportive for your microbiome. Additionally, what we want to consider are things that just overall help other digestive organs like our liver and our gallbladder, because bile is really important for helping us digest fats. And beets can be really helpful in helping our bile flow really well to help us digest our fats. Additionally, things like fennel and ginger can be excellent for calming down maybe some irritation in your gut, or calming down some gassiness that we might feel in our digestive tract. Ginger tea or making some a ginger dressing or something with ginger, a soup that has ginger in it could be really helpful, as can fennel, the spice fennel. You can take that and make a tea out of it. There's also fennel teas that are great, especially if you're feeling kind of gassy. Those really help soothe and support your digestive function. So consider foods like those for supporting just overall digestion. And then fermented foods that are rich in probiotics. So we talked about prebiotics. We also want to bring in foods that are rich in probiotics. And again, sometimes these fermented foods don't work for us, and that can give us some indication. Are those probiotics feeding some other bacteria or promoting more of a bacterial overgrowth, or are they higher in histamine and you have a histamine intolerance and those foods are exacerbating that histamine for you? So sometimes these foods that don't work for us can give us some clues, but overall, fermented foods, because they're usually rich in probiotics, can be super helpful for a healthy gut. So incorporating things like kimchi or kefir or like sauerkrauts, things like that can be really helpful in bringing in those beneficial probiotics into our diet. So those are some things to consider for gut health. One more thing, I almost forgot, foods that are rich in polyphenols. These would be foods that are on that blue, purple, deep red spectrum that provide polyphenols, which are a phytochemical that your good bacteria really love. So pomegranates and blueberries and red onions and black beans are really rich in polyphenols, and your gut microbiome loves those. So incorporating foods like that to also help give you a well-rounded approach to your diet to support your gut health. So I hope you found these tips helpful. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Happy to answer those for you. And I hope you enjoyed the content. Thanks.